Hi guys, welcome back to Rise Again, and today we will be discussing about the step-by-step risk assessment. And this is not only for the beginners, but this is for the beginners to expert level. So even expert level can watch this video, and also the beginner. So we will be discussing different type of contents in this training, such as what is risk assessment and why do we need it, and how to conduct risk assessment and step-by-step risk assessment. So I will teach you how to conduct the risk assessment step by step, and why do we need it, and what are the steps, and even the steps how you need to apply that steps in the real uh, workplace. So first of all, what is risk assessment? The risk assessment is a process to identify hazards and assess the associated risk and apply control measures to bring to ALARP. For example, if you have a workplace, and that workplace there's some risk, you need to understand about the hazards, the hidden hazards in the project. So how you need to understand about that? First of all, you need to identify the hazards, and then you need to assess the risk. What is the risk associated to that hazards, and then you need to apply the control measures to bring it to the ALARP. ALARP means as low as reasonable practicable. So first of all, what are the steps? If you have seen these type of steps everywhere, but the thing here is how to apply these 5 steps in your day-to-day risk conducting risk assessments methods. So for example, you have the first step is identify the hazards. Identify the hazards, but how can you identify the hazards? If you go to site and someone tells you identify the hazards, and which best you can say that this is a hazard. So hazard doesn't mean that it is hypothetically we can say that this is hazard, oh it's too risky. No, we cannot say this is hazard. Hazards, to identify hazards, there is some process, and you need to apply that process. Then you can understand, yes, that is exactly hazards or not. So how to understand the hazards? There are different type of hazards. We can say physical hazards, ergonomic hazards, psychosocial hazards, chemical hazards, and biological hazards. So actually these type of hazards are very risky for the human health and safety and health of the human, and also mental health. You can apply that one. So the first step is to understand the hazards. You need to go to the legal requirements. So many legal requirements are there. For example, if you bring any equipment such as forklift, it is there, so that is also a type of hazards, because the vehicle, the forklift is moving, reversing. There are a lot of blind spots, so there are different type of even OSHA and ADOSH in Abu Dhabi. If you are in UAE, they have standards for that, what you need to do when you are using forklift in your workplace. So you need to employ the legal requirements to understand the hazards. The second one is MSDS. If you have chemical substances in your workplace, so you can use the MSDS, and then you can understand that is flammable or corrosive. So you can understand the third one is previous history. There are mostly people, they are thinking about the previous history. For example, if you have some chemicals and that you store properly, but still because of the environment there are some reactions and fire could happen. So if that has been happened in the recent future, sorry, history, so you can consider that is also as a hazard. So first, then you now here we can say that we decided that how to identify hazards. I will just give you a real example of how to identify hazards. Here we can say that the person is working on scaffolding, and the scaffolding is not prepared enough. So we can say that there are hazards. So what are the hazards? Because the scaffolding is unsafe, the plywood that they have put it is also is not proper, and he didn't hook the safety harness. So we can say that there is hazard, which is falling hazards, falling objects, falling person hazards. So this is a real life hazard. So here you can say that who might be harmed. The second is who might be harmed. So in the who might be harmed, how we can understand that who might be harmed? Here you can see that some employees are working here. Some employees are working here. Okay, these are the people that who can fell from the scaffoldings, and some employee working under or beneath of these two employees. So what if some tools falls and hit his hand or head? So we can say that people who is working and those who is working nearby. And also if these people they are working and there are pedestrians, public are moving, such as here, so we can say that public who might be harmed, the people who are working here and working nearby, people passing by, plus we can say public property. So public property we can also mention that one. So we can say that people working there and working nearby, people passing by, and public property. So that's how we can understand that who might be harmed and how. So now we need to after these steps, the second steps, we have third step, and that is called evaluate the risk. And whenever you are evaluating risk, there are two things. I will just tell you one thing. Likelihood, okay, sorry I cannot write it here, but likelihood plus consequences is equal to risk. So how to identify the first thing? Likelihood. Okay. This is based on ADOSH. This one is based on ADOSH. ADOSH has already defined that whenever there are chances of occurrence like never occurred in the history, so we can say it is rare and we will put level 1. If if the incident has been occurred once, so we can say it is possible and we can put 2. If the incident has occurred more than once in a year, so we can say it is likely and we can put 3. And if the incident has occurred several times per year, we can say it is often and we can put 4. But if the incident has occurred so frequently in a year, we can say frequent, and that will be 5. So this is based on the historical data of likelihood that you need to understand about the historical data of the likelihood. But there are different other types of also that how you can evaluate the likelihood. One is one of my personal article and methodology UDLEM, which I cannot explain here because of the time shortage. And there are also brainstorming. You can do also brainstormings. So there are different type of methods that you can understand the evaluator. But I believe that UDLM, which is very new in the market, and that is it gives you the accurate occurrence chances that an incident can happen. So we will go to the next slide, which is how to evaluate the risk. So another, first of all, the likelihood, we already evaluated. So now we will come to the consequences. Consequences, that is also as per ADOSH. So consequences has been categorized by three. So human health and safety, production loss, total cost of impacts or incidents events. So for example, we have minor injuries and health and safety related, or which may require self-administered first aid injured. Personnel can continue to perform normal duties. It means just a first aid cases. So we can say 1 if that is related to health and safety. But if there is chances of incidents event without causing production loss, if it's related to production operations, constructions or whatever, and there's like without causing a production loss, so we can put 1, which is significant. And if that is financial, and see financial, again financial, they have defined 5,000, but it is depends on the organizations. Some organizations, they may not agree with the 5,000 because they will say, no, our this is in dirhams. So the total project value might be 50 or 15 or 20,000, or maybe 30,000, because they're subcontractors. So they says, no, 5,000 for us, it is minor or could be moderate. So it is up to them, and they can define their own financial values, that how much they can accept the risk of the finance. So here, if that is 5,000 as per ADOSH, it is significant. And if there is an injuries required on-site treatment by medical practitioners, personnel unable to continue to perform duties. See, the difference between here, this is first aid case, but this is site treatment medical case. Okay, so if that is happened, it is 2. And if production loss or delay up to 1 week, we can say that's 2. But again, it depends on the organizations, because so many companies, they cannot even tolerate for 1 day or 2 days. So they have to define their own metrics for the consequences. And if financial, that is from 5,000 to 50,000, then it should be considered as a consequences score 2. Again, they have to decide that how much they can tolerate. And if there is serious injuries requiring off-site treatment by medical practitioner or immediate evacuation to hospital, potential long-term or permanent disability, so we can say that it is moderate and can be considered even LTI. So here, when people says it is LTI, so this one is considered LTI. If there is chances of LTI, we can say that it is moderate, and 3. If that is production loss or delay of 1 week or to 1 month, again it depends on the organizations, that can be considered as a 3, which is equal to LTI. And if the financial loss is from 50,000 to 500,000, that could be also considered as a moderate, and also called equal is to LTI. But here, if there is chances of single fatality, if single fatality, it means this is 4. Okay, if production loss or delay for over 1 month, that is also equal to single fatality. And if the financial loss to an organization due to an incident or event is from 500,000 to 10 million, it is called single fatality. So what if there are chances of multiple fatalities? If this is multiple fatalities, it can be considered as 5. So that is catastrophic consequences. So productions is per operations or workshops or productions. If there is chances of loss of license, operate, or ability to produce indefinitely, so that can be considered as 5 multiple fatalities. But if the severe financial penalties or legal liabilities, financial loss, compensations, fines, cost to repair plant damage of greater than 10 millions, that is called 5. So based on these, you can understand that how to evaluate the risk level and likelihood and consequences. You might have seen that some people they put 3, some people they put 5, some people they put 2. So how you need to add these type of rating in the risk assessment. So based on this you can understand your risk level and the consequences and likelihood. So here, if for example we can say like if from 1 to 3, that will be low. So what you need to, if the risk is low, no immediate action is required unless escalation of risk is possible. If that is 4 to 6, it is called moderate risk. So activity or industry can operate subject to management and or modification. If this says that yes, we can operate the activities, or we can continue the activities, or we can operate with some modification, so yes, they can operate the activities. And if it is 8 to 12, that is high risk activities, and it means that industry should be modified to include immediate remedial planning and action, and subject to detailed OSH assessment. But if the incident is from 15 to 25, that is called extreme risk, and this is, they recommend that activity or industry should not proceed in current form. They should stop the work immediately. So how it is like 5, for example, this is likelihood and these are the consequences. Okay, if this one rare multiply by significant, it's called 1. If possible multiply by possible, it will come, sorry, if this multiply by 1, it comes 2. If 3, the likelihood is 3 as per our assignments last slides, so we need to multiply by 1, which is significant, it will come 3. If it is often and it's the significant is 1, okay, no worries, even if it's occurred, no serious injuries are there, no loss is there. Frequently, even if that is frequently 5, but their significance we can say 5, and 5 is what? Moderate risk. But if the possibility is 2 and here 2, so we can say 1 by 2, 2, and 2 is 4, 3 to 6, multiplied by 2, 6, and then 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, and 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, and you can see what is 10. From 8 to 12, it is high risk, and what you need to do, this is the action plan. So from here 5 by 2, it's 10. Okay, so now here 1 multiplied by 3 is 3, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, and 4 multiplied by 3 is 9, sorry, 3 by multiplied by 3 is 9, and 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, and 5 multiplied by 3 it is 5, which is high risk, extreme risk. So the same you can calculate, you can multiply 4 if there are chances of major, so you can calculate by 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it will come till if the likelihood chance is 5 and the consequences catastrophic 5, so we can say it is 25. So that will be very high risk. So this was today risk assessments training and how we can do. See, again, there was the last option is how to record the findings and review and updates. So now once you identify the hazard is based on the previous slide, so you will need to put here the hazards, then person at risk and how they might be harmed, so you can mention here. Then controls currently and places, so what type of control measures that the people that have already taken, you can put here that like scaffoldings, they have proper PPE, but they don't have like ladder access to the scaffolding, but you should not mention here, so just whatever they have provided you can put here, plus then you will go to the risk matrix and you will understand the likelihood, the severity, and then you will multiply the likelihood with the severity, and the risk rate will come here. So here the risk rating will be here. Further control measures, how you need to bring this risk level, this residual risk level, to the ALARP situations as low as reasonable practicable. So you need to add additional control measures. That what they need to do, they need to provide proper PPE, lifeline systems, proper access to the scaffolding. There should be overhead protection for the pedestrians, and proper signages should be there. Area should be irrigated, and who is the responsible? The supervisor, the site engineer. Action date, it is immediate, by 1 day or 2 day, and completed date, it should be done that. And then you need to follow up, review, is it done, the action plan has been done, action has been taken, updated, the risk is lower. If yes, very good. If not, again add additional control measures, again give the responsibilities, again give the timeline, and then again consider it. Once, see, whenever the recommended control measures has been applied in the workplace, so you need to remove it from here and add it here in the current control measures. So that's how we will review and update the risk assessment. Review and update the risk assessments. Again, something is missing here. You have to give another control measures. If that control measure has been applied, bring back it here and put it as a current control measures. So this was our training for the today about the risk assessments. And if you haven't subscribed this channel, so please subscribe this channels and write that in the comment, whatever is it was like difficulty for you, or if that give you if this trainings really gives you help. So please write in the comment, or whatever you are facing issues while conducting risk assessments, or there are some things that you need to understand in future. So please write in the comment box, so we can reply to that, and we can give you more trainings and more fruitful trainings and advice on that. Thank you so much.